Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It is me, the BBK, and welcome back to the Boss's Lounge. Child, let me tell you, that interview was really good with Sean's mistress, Avante. We're going to get into it after the intro. All right. Welcome back to the Boss's Lounge. Child, I don't know what to tell you. You want to say when cheating goes wrong, but is that actually what's happening? Do you know how many people out here are willing to have an open relationship because they think they're in love? They think that they're so in love that they would be okay with sharing their man or woman with another man or woman. There are relationships out here that actually thrive on that situation, under that circumstance, right? Now, Sean and Avanti, they were a couple that seemed to thrive for 9 years or two miscarriages, according to the interview, while he was happily married. And I believe he's got 4 kids. Well, he couldn't have been that happily married if he was happy cheating. And she spoke of other infidelities too. My question to you is, do you think you could ever be in that relationship? Like, it really takes, I don't want to be judgmental. I want to be very fair and open about it. First of all, you have to have some type of morals about messing with a married man, or anybody's man for that matter. There is an advantage and a disadvantage to messing with a taken man or a married man. One of the advantages is you don't have to worry about him harassing you about where you going and who you doing, right? It's kind of an in and out, on and off again type of affair. Call me when you need me. Call me when you want to play. Call me when you want to holler type of thing, with no boundaries and no restrictions. But when you say I do and you commit to a man, that has got to be something that you are committing to as well. It ain't no way you're going to make me believe that a wife would be willing to endure an open relationship with her husband if this wasn't something they had already talked about prior to marriage. Now, if you didn't talk about it prior to marriage, and here you are 4 kids later, and you've been with this man through hell and high water, then you have to ask yourself, can I make it? Is my self-esteem so low? Am I so unworthy of making it as a single parent with these 4 children? You've got to acknowledge your mindset, because for me, it may be something that I would be open to if we were just in a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, butt buddies, whatever. And, he wanted to mess around, that it would really be something. But to have a home, have established a life, a family and whatnot with a man, and swore that you would be with nobody else other than him until the day you die, that's a big promise to swallow. And I can't necessarily say I will be down with it. Now, that is the burning question through most relationships that experience infidelities, right? The question is not so much, will he cheat again? but do you love him enough to stay with him? And this woman talked of an affair that turned into love. She said they loved one another. And again, they'd been together for 9 years through, two miscarriages. And she felt that that relationship was a pretty sturdy relationship. So much so to the point that she went to the wife. If not once, twice, if I recall, because I was late, as always. I'm always late somewhere. But it has to make you wonder, why did you go to the wife? Were you, y'all, I gotta have something sweet. I can't help it. Were you expecting her to call it off and walk away? Did you expect her to leave so that you could step into her footsteps, into her position, into her palace? What was the purpose of going to the wife? Because I would think if you've agreed to having an open relationship with a man that is currently taken by paper, right, by pen and pad, I can't help but know that you would have to also know that you don't want him as a single. If he leaves his wife, you don't want him anymore. You only want him as long as he stays with his wife. Why? Because as long as he stays with his wife, he ain't cheating on you. Because you know about the wife. And the wife knows about you. She may not leave, but she knows about you. But that's where his obligation starts and ends. Right? If he were to leave his wife, then you got to know that you've now stepped in her shoes wholeheartedly. And the fact that if he cheated on her with you, he's going to cheat on you with somebody else. So why would you even want that position? And it's not abnormal that people have entered into those agreements and made those decisions. Not abnormal at all. I think for me, I don't think I've heard anybody just sit up and open and talk about it that are in the industry or part of the industry. Yes, I've heard people talk about it in real life growing up. Yes, I've had friends who've been in those positions and have always wanted to either vent and get some stuff off their chest or ask you what you thought about it or ask if they were stupid for feeling the way they feel. Listen, in my eyes, I feel like homeboy must be hung like a Mendigo. If you were so in love with him and you was accepting all of the gifts and you was playing your position and you was doing the right thing and you wasn't messing with the wife at first. See, what I didn't hear her say was how many other women he messed with besides her. And when asked, how does she feel about the wife now possibly hearing this interview? And she responds, the wife knows all about this, so it shouldn't be a shock to her. Now, I also missed the question that says, why now? Why do you want to tell your story now? Because according to her, after one of those contacts with the wife, he went dark and got off the internet, off social media and everything. And I'm guessing in hopes of trying to repair his family or at least come up with an understanding that the wife wouldn't leave. So, no. I also heard her mention that her best friend was a billionaire. Interesting to me, if her best friend was a billionaire, why is it that you had to settle with someone in the music industry? that is far from any billionaire, if millionaire at the least. It just makes me wonder, because if I had a billionaire best friend, any and every man or woman that I came into sexual contact with would be breaking me off like I've never seen before in my life. And that's just real talk. That's real talk. I don't think I could ever agree to an agreement like that with someone that I'm married to. Again, dating is, anything's possible, but married to, I'm not sure I could enter into that. I want to hang on. I want to Oh, okay. So it won't let me do it. Okay. I'm sorry. I was trying to do something. So yeah, that was a very interesting live. It was very telling. And what I also found interesting is how people can be so judgmental about someone that makes a serious decision like that in their life, yet they take no responsibility or accountability for the decision that they've made to fall in love with social media and or YouTube, to the point that they neglect their family. And I think a lot of people aren't even aware that that's the position that they're in. So I guess that will be the answer to my question. Now I want to do a little bit of I want to speak a little bit about Russia. Did y'all know Russia almost took us out last year, by January last year? See, Putin is not a stupid man, in my opinion. He is far from stupid. He is very smart. He is so smart that they listen in on us like we listen in on them, right? So last January of 2021, everything was still hot and firm about the 2020 election. A lot of stuff was going on, was being said. Don did not concede, and he left sour. He left salty about the whole situation. But last year, it was reported that Nana P went running to the big dogs, telling them that they need to get the nuclear codes from Donald because he was unhinged. Oh, they tried to paint him out to look crazy. They tried to paint him out to be so salty to the point to where he would want to seek revenge or retribution for allegedly losing the election. But did he lose it? They tried to paint him out to be the bad guy. And the whole time, allegedly, Russia was listening. Well, we all know, or should know, the type of relationship, a cordial relationship, that Putin and Don have together. And upon hearing this, his first mind was, you know what, let me call the Don, see what's going on, make sure he's straight. But he couldn't reach him. He tried by regular methods, phone, email. He even went all the way back to an 1873 device where he tried to reach out to him, because Russia has the bat line straight to the White House, right? So but straight to the Don. Yeah, he got a bat phone. And he had reached out on the bat phone. He was not able to get the Don on the phone. So according to Putin, Russia's mentality is, if we feel that you might be a threat or that you may do something to us, we'll shoot first and we'll talk about it later. So Putin went allegedly from DEFCON 2 to DEFCON war. They was ready to start, slinging bricks and rocks over here at us, because they was under the impression that Donald was so unstable that he might potentially, you know, send nuclear arms against Russia. And Russia was taking all the necessary precautions. They was putting everybody in position. They had everybody on high alert. They was ready. They was waiting on one pin to hit the ground, baby, and they was gonna set it off. Do you hear me? But right before the wickening hour, almost as though on TV, the phone rang, and it was the Don. Now, I don't know about you, but my mind ran through a lot of circles reading those articles about what happened last January and the state of mind that the Don was truly in. But all of the executive orders and pre planned situations that he had worked on and had put together, it dawned on me that he had to have shared his vision with Putin a year ago. It made me feel like not only did he share his vision, but he possibly shared classified information with Putin. And I feel like Putin reviewed the information, if any was provided to him. I feel like he reviewed it, he scrutinized it, and he understood, but he said, I can't get involved because none of that pertains to me. Okay? Because remember, this was the same month, January 2021, that the Delta team rolled over to the Ukraine and rolled up on Bin Laden's little hiding spot over there. And that's where they found a mass discovery. The same month. So I definitely feel in my spirit that their findings were possibly shared with Putin back then. And Putin was simply waiting on the perfect opportunity to jump in. Now, if all of this happens to just be very coincidental, if all of this happens to be actually true, then that means the Don is going to owe Putin one. Oh yeah, he's going to owe him a favor. Because see, I look at it as a tit for tat. You're trying to get the U.S. under wraps from a corrupt government, along with several other countries. And now I have evidence that such a thing is going on with the country that's got something that I want. So, knowing that Bin Laden didn't have the nuclear codes, I'm sure put Putin at rest and made him comfortable with saying, I know what I'm going to do on this end. And I also think that because of what happened in November of 2020, it is another reason that Putin has continued to reach out to the Don. Also, they're saying 2 of those children are on their way to being reunited with their family. What did I tell you guys the other morning? How is the Don going to help them get the kids back to their family unless we're going to sneak over there and get them? That was the question I asked. Now, I don't have the answer to it. But I'm definitely waiting and I'm looking. I definitely want to know how we're going to get them kids out from over there. Let's see what else is going on down here. Oh yeah, let me go. There is something over here that I want to read to you guys. So it's reported today that Putin is still bombing the biolabs. And they actually said that he blowed up Bin Laden's hiding spot. They say he went on and blew that up while he was at it. So I don't know about you, but it is a slight confirmation to me that I'm on the right track. Um, it says that Putin on yesterday told the Don about a multitude of foreign bioweapon facilities. Um, yeah, he said it was they are reporting that he was on the phone for about 20 minutes with the Don. Um, and in this report, it states that he references his true reasons for attacking the Ukraine. True reasons? Interesting. Because I was feeling some kind of way of what I thought his true reasons were. Again, this is another confirmation to me that I'm on point. It says he spent his first half of the call updating him about the biolabs. And he reports that they have obliterated 11 U.S. State Department of Defense funded bioweapon facilities, four German toxic chemical research centers, 3 Swiss nanotechnology centers, 1 French biotech consortium, and 3 Israeli labs that were feverishly working to weaponize airborne rabies, allegedly. Additionally, he claimed his forces had carried out precision strikes on mobile biolabs, which were attempting to transport lethal pathogens across the Ukrainian border into Poland. He said he used the Russian Su-35 planes with laser-guided munitions to eliminate the roving labs, which were 18-wheelers unsafely retrofitted into makeshift labs. Now that's what was reported. Putin also said his fighter planes had destroyed bin Laden's 200-acre villa, and said that he had discovered that bin Laden was deeply enmeshed in Ukraine's criminal enterprises, and told the Don he would give him all the evidence he needs. Mm-hmm. He said there were many people within bin Laden's demonic den who profited massively from the conflagration of evil that had rooted itself on Ukrainian soil. 20 of bin Laden's foreign cohorts were taken out in the attack. Now, this is information you're not going to hear on the news. For one, they're censoring them big time. So I'm going to bring you what I can. Let's see. Of course, the media is allegedly trying to paint Putin out to be a crazy president, someone that is off his rocker and can't be controlled. But he said he's fine. He not crazy. And they standing fast in what he's committed in doing. He told the Don, you know what fake news is? He said, this is all fake news. Your media shows the same 3 pictures of videos over and over again, 24 hours a day, to make false claims that I am doing some genocide. Your country's own intelligence sources admit I've sent only 75 planes and no UAVs. If I wanted to conquer Ukraine, I'd send 1,000 planes. You know what real invasion looks like. Go look at the video footage of America's shock and awe in Iraq. Now that's an invasion. I could if I want to, but that's not my objective, Putin reportedly and allegedly told the Don. The second part of the call focused on his attempts to find, isolate, and wipe out child trafficking covens that had been running with impunity in Ukraine, an operation that began after Russian special forces, searching for weapons of mass destruction, stumbled upon a brick building filled with captive children. Putin allegedly and reportedly told Trump his people found another 3 locations, each with 25 to 60 kids inside. None of these were American, apparently, but they were still from a lot of different countries. Two of the three, at least, Putin said, were guarded by Ukrainians, and his Spetsnaz killed them and freed the kids. Then they set explosives and detonated the camps. Much has been made of Russia killing 5 people in an attack on a television station. If Putin's telling the truth, and I'm certainly not saying he is, the Ukrainian government and child trafficking cartels were using that spot as a means of communications, the source reported. Now, when I talked to y'all the other day about other buildings and things and places that were getting blown up and innocent people who, had lost their life due to the attack, I said they must have had a concrete information, validation and confirmation that somebody bad was in those buildings or something bad was going on in those buildings. And we already know what he said. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He's going to get rid of all of the child trafficking and the things that they've taken and stripped from the Ukraine. And they're going to get rid of all of the areas and means of captive buildings and communication used to resume these type of activities. He's going to take them all out. He's told us that, and he's not bitten his tongue about it. So, to tell us that you took out a television station and said only 5 people lost their lives because you felt that was ground zero, their head spot for communications, speaks volumes. And again, it is another confirmation that I'm right on point with my thought process of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And I haven't even talked to Momo yet to see, because I'm getting all this confirmation from the intel that I'm running up on. But I know she would tell me if I'm hitting it right or wrong. I know she would tell me either way. They claim that they asked the Don how much faith he had in Putin's honesty. And they were told that the Don takes nothing for granted and measures everything carefully. He said, we know at least 2 American children held hostage in Ukraine are now on their way home. The Don is always evaluating and calculating what's going on. So I guess we met them halfway and picked up the kids. Did they send a convoy, a secret convoy out of the country, and we met them in another country to get the kids? How do we get the kids? Those are the burning questions that I ask. But that is your update on today, March 2nd, 2022, on the Russian-Ukraine situation. I don't have anything more to bring you right now. Everything else that I plan to bring you, I'll bring you on the YouTube Boulevard. So thank you for coming. Shout out to my bosses, to my cave dwellers, my street runners, my supporters, subscribers, allies, and replay gang. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button on your way out or not, whichever way you choose. We would appreciate it. Remember, thumbs up and thumbs down is all engagement. Get us in the algorithm. Thank you guys for coming, and you have a nice night.